Calgary Flames fans, it's time for Flames Unfiltered. Entertaining and controversial hockey talk with your host, Brad Burud.
Well, that's a wrap. Recent losing streak, lackluster play, crushes playoff hopes. Good evening and welcome to Flames Unfiltered. I am the host of the show, Brad Burud, episode number 94, coming at you tonight, March 30th, 2021. And first off, got to apologize for last week. Missed last week's show. Had every intention of doing it. Had it all written up, scripted, everything. And then life happens and we had numerous things happening throughout the family, and all is good. All is good, but it just wasn't a week. Now this week I'm fighting a cold, so that's no good. So I'm going to barrel through this show and go to bed because I'm trying to get better. I don't want to get sick because you know why I don't want to get sick? I have plans to golf Thursday and Friday this week, and I want to go golfing. And so I'm going to do everything in my power to be able to go golfing. Maybe not because of the weather, so we'll see what happens. So, well, last week, did we miss much? Well, we missed talking about the split in Toronto where there was still hope alive. And then a sweep at the hands of the Senators, which in my opinion, and some people argue with me on this, is unfortunately season ending. Yeah, it is season ending in my mind. The Sutter effect worked for a while, but we've learned option number 2, that was the probability when Sutter joined us. Either everybody was going to jump on board and we were going to go forward and things were going to be great, or we were going to do okay and then we were going to stumble and we're going to find out that we were right, or some of us were right all along, and that this core is not winners. Well, some people think I'm jumping the gun, but I think the writing is on the wall. This core is not winners, and I wanted changes last year and didn't get them, and now I think we're going to get them this year, or if we don't get them, I think we'll have a new GM. So I'm not trying to be negative, and I'm sorry that this is a frustrating episode. But if you're a Flames fan, you should know my frustration, because you should be damn frustrated too. This is not a good situation we're in Calgary. This is not a healthy situation. And I am not sure where this is going to go. This organization is not ready for a complete teardown and rebuild. It's going to be a retool. And it's going to be interesting to see how we get to and through this retool. Now, are the Flames dead? No, they're not mathematically dead. The odds are drastically not in their favor at all. Could they make a run and make the playoffs? Yes, they would have to have help from Montreal stumbling, which is possible. The fact is this organization even ready for a playoff run if we made the playoffs? I know 8 seeds have went all the way, but oh man, I'm not feeling real comfortable right now. And I think if I was feeling comfortable, many of you would think I'm crazy, right? We do have a good episode today. We're going to talk briefly about the recent Flames games, and then we're going to talk about a week full of losses and a week full of controversies. The Anderson puck steal, Gaudreau's 500th and Sutter's comments, scratches, Tkachuk's, where is he at? And then I'm going to need to lower my blood pressure after this one, but we are going to talk about the 5 things that I'm sick and tired of hearing and seeing in Calgary. And then we'll roll on to some Flames news from the North, a Facebook poll about the forwards, and then we'll wrap with a little preview about the Vancouver game on Wednesday night. It's time. It's time for another edition of Flames Unfiltered, and thanks so much for joining us. All right, Flames fans, let's talk a little bit about some recaps since we last talked, and I'll roll through some scores. We went out to Toronto, and we were feeling actually pretty good. Sutter was still new at the time, I guess. 4-3 win in Toronto on night one, and everything's looking good in Calgary. Follow that up with a lackluster, horrendous 2-0 loss. And then we roll on and over to Ottawa for 2 and lose 3-1 or 2-1 at 3-1. And that marked complete disaster. Come back home for 3 at home against Winnipeg. Lose the first one 3-2. Win the second one 4-2 in a game we maybe shouldn't have deserved to win. And then lost last night miserably 5-1 to a team that flat out outmatched and destroyed us. Yeah. So, a team that's fighting for their playoff lives, a team that's fighting to get into the playoffs, confident they will with a new coach, and all systems go, gets 4 of a possible 14 points over the span of 2 weeks. That is not a sign of a team that's pushing for a playoff spot. All right, controversies this week. All kinds of controversies. It started in Ottawa when Gustafsson gets his first win as an NHL goalie. And Rasmus Andersson steals the puck and is going to take it off the ice, and Brady Tkachuk is chasing him down to get the puck back. Andersson then realizes whatever, I don't know what he was realizing, or was going to get in trouble or get his ass kicked. Throws the puck, and then Matthew Tkachuk knocks it away from Brady Tkachuk across the ice. Brady pushes Matthew and goes to get the puck. Couple things on this. I didn't like it at all. Not because I believe in good sportsmanship. I think there's a time to be an asshole and there's a time not to be an asshole. When an opponent goalie wins his first game, not the time to be an asshole. When you don't give us 60 minutes every single night, every player on the team, and then you're going to do post-game antics, just try to stir the pot, how about you turn that energy into energy used on the ice during the game so we can win a game against one of the shittiest teams in the National Hockey League? It's damn embarrassing. We lose to the Ottawa Senators every single time we play them. So don't waste your energy being a poor sport asshole. Show us how you can play on the ice. Transfer that energy for good. Rasmus Andersson went on to say, it was in the heat of the moment. I was just really pissed off because they scored a late one there. As soon as I realized it was a first NHL win, I chucked the puck back. It was nothing intentional. Maybe it wasn't. I hope he's speaking the truth. I always thought of Rasmus as a straight up, honest, good guy. Like him. I don't know. This one bugged me. It's not the time or the place. I don't care if it wasn't his first game. There's no one in that Calgary locker room that deserved that puck. Why don't you be a real hero and throw it to a fan? Oh, wait, there is no fans. Sorry. Yeah, that's another story, another bitch I have. Gaudreau. It's 500th game. Well, in the morning presser, Daryl Sutter was asked about Johnny Gaudreau's upcoming 500th game. And Daryl's response was quick, short, and sweet, and honest. Wow. It's crazy how people in this world don't like honesty anymore. Daryl Sutter responded, well, hopefully he has more energy than his 499th game. Sutter was criticized by many media members, said it was below the belt. I don't know, maybe it was. Truth hurts once in a while, though, right? Maybe this team needed a little honesty a couple years ago, not now. I don't care if feelings are hurt in this team anymore. The fans' feelings have been hurt for years. No one's worried about their feelings. It's the truth. Do we get a 100% effort from Johnny Gaudreau every night? No. And no, he's not the only one. He hasn't done jack this year or last year. I loved it, but I love honesty. He's a professional athlete. He should be able to handle it, right? Because it's the truth. Johnny responded with, I heard it. Didn't think much of it. I've been playing hockey for 24, 25 years now, and I know when I haven't played well and when I have played well. I don't know then, but why don't you start making some changes so that you start playing well? Instead of talking about it like everybody else on this team that every night talks about how we need to be better. Next controversial issue. Dubé and Valimaki healthy scratches 2 games versus Winnipeg. Is this positive growth for their growth? Is this a confidence killer? I don't know. Many people would argue for both. What are our expectations on these guys? Is Dubé really a top 6 forward? Or is this Dylan Dubé a top 6 forward on a not very talented team like the Calgary Flames up front? I think that's probably more the case. I'm not ripping Dylan Dubé. He is what he is, and I think he works his ass off for this team, and I think he cares more than 80% of this team, and quite honestly, like the player. Don't know if he's a true NHL top 6 on a top-end team, though. I don't know. Now, Valimaki. Has Valimaki been great this year? No. Has he been awful? No. See the reason why we're not a playoff team? No. Is he developing this year as quick as a lot of us expected? No, but my expectations were off the charts for him. I thought he had a chance at Rookie of the Year. I couldn't wait to see how he did this year. But I wouldn't consider this year a failure for Valimaki. I wouldn't. I don't think it's been a huge glowing success, but I wouldn't deem it a failure. I don't think these guys will be out of the lineup long. I think this is Sutter showing them that it takes work on a nightly basis to be a professional athlete. And I don't know that these guys, I think these guys are going to both learn from this and both, I think this is going to help them. Plus, in a condensed year, they've been balls to the wall all year. These guys need a break. The next controversial issue. Matthew Tkachuk's uncharacteristic play. Is his energy level there? I hate to keep bringing up this stupid Muzzin puck flip, but something happened that day. Something happened. Something happened in that locker room. It's not right. And Matthew's never been right since. For the most part, he's been completely ineffective since. And I don't think Matthew Tkachuk, based on his presser last night, has a lot of confidence his team has what it takes to make it to the playoffs. And when one of your so-called leaders isn't a believer, what do you think the rest of the team thinks? There's a disconnect. I don't know what it is, and none of us can prove it because we're not in the room. But there's a disconnect going on. Now, Matthew has 27 points in 37 games this year, 9 goals, 7 of which I think are tips, 2 of which are actual shots. Not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that his shot percentage is 8.5%. His career is 12.4. Matthew Tkachuk's got to figure out a way to get this going. And this organization's got to figure out who said what in the locker room and eliminate them. Because Matthew Tkachuk is not the Matthew Tkachuk that we had in years previous. Well, it's fitting. I've been pissed about the Flames this week. So I came up with my 5 things I'm sick of hearing and sick of seeing in Calgary. Probably could have wrote 50, but my 5 things. Then I reached out to my buddies on Flames Hub, my Facebook group that I'm part of, to kind of see what they had to say. I'll read off my 5 first, and then we'll venture into what some of the other fans said. Number 5, I'm sick of Matthew Tkachuk diving and embellishing penalties. This isn't fucking soccer, Matthew. What you did last night that resulted in a goal when you dived when you were next to Scheifele, instead of taking the puck away, acted like he was holding you down, costed this team a goal. If you play hard, you'll draw penalties. When you grandstand and show up the refs like that, you're not going to get a call. And don't embarrass this organization. Number 4, Gaudreau and his constant fishing with the stick. Play some defense and attack the puck with 2 hands on your stick and try to take it away. You're small. I know you're not going to be physical. I don't expect you to be physical. But I expect you to go in, dig hard, and work hard to get that puck out. I don't think that's asking too much from a professional athlete. Number 3, I am sick and tired of this organization telling us that they are deep and that they have a deep prospect pool. I'll see it when I'll believe it when I see it. We're not deep offensively. We're not even strong top end offensively. How the hell can we be deep? In this prospect pool, how many years do we got to wait for these guys? Huh? We've got Majapani, Valimaki, which I believe is going to be good, both those two. And I believe Dubé will be okay. I don't know. I keep getting told this prospect pool is for real, but I don't see it. I see other teams bringing up guys that are producing on a nightly basis. Sadly, I don't see it on our end. Number 2, I am sick and tired of players on this team telling us that they have a tight locker room. I don't give a shit if you have a tight locker room. Yes, I think that's ideal. But you know what I'd rather see is wins. I'm tired of hearing they have a tight locker room. I've never seen a banner. Maybe in Nashville has one for having a tight locker room. It's frustrating. Number 1, I'm really tired of watching post-game pressers and seeing Sean Monahan and other players telling us how we've got to be better. 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 So sick and tired of hearing that. Do any of us believe they're going to get better? I don't know. Not after hearing it 35 times, I don't believe they're going to be any better. What are other Flames Unfiltered fans saying? Stephen King says, I'm absolutely sick of the Flames fans blaming goalies. Our team is absolutely terrible, and the fans just blame the goalie. But when you can't score more than 2 goals a game, you're not going to win many games. Simple as that. Fleury Laderet says he's sick of the fans complaining. Well, I am too. But you know what stops that? Winning. Does. Kelly Firm, he's sick of the lack of effort. Yeah, I could have wrote that one down. You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of getting ready for a game and thinking, like it's a peewee game, wondering if the guys are going to come out and play harder, if they're going to worry about the pool's cold after the game. Andrew Cochran, I'm tired of post-game interviews with comments from the players and coach such as, we need to win these games. We need to find a way to win. They outplayed us when it counted. It's on me. I need to be a better player. We just need some tweaking. These games are close. Enough. I agree. I totally agree. It is maddening and it is frustrating and it is driving me crazy as a Flames fan.
Inside Edge Hockey News. Dropping the gloves. And stirring the pot.
All right, friends, as I struggle through this episode with a horrible head cold and just came on today, which sucks. Probably adding to my grumpiness as this episode barrels on through. Where are we at? Time for some Flames news. Oliver Kylington, defenseman, hits 54 games over the past 2 seasons, hitting the expansion draft exposure requirements. Well, by posting 2 shutouts in the past weekend, Flames goalie prospect Dustin Wolf jumped into 3rd place all-time in WHL history with 22 shutouts. Only Tyson Sexsmith and Carter Hart have more, both have 26. Wolf was also named WHL Goalie of the Week last week. Congratulations, as this guy keeps racking up Western Hockey League awards. Coincidence? Since Sutter's return, Flames fight, they win. Flames don't fight, they lose. Fans. A friend of mine brought this up. I think it was on TSN. It's called Ridiculous in Net. Flames all-time goaltending. David Riddick is 5th all-time in wins. Does that not scare the heck out of you? Mika Kiprusoff first with 305. Mike Vernon 262. Reggie Lemelin 136. Trevor Kidd. Holy shit buckets. Trevor Kidd is 4th. Franchise history was 72. David Riddick 63. Roman Turk 63. Rick Walmsley 53. That is scary. Flames signed defenseman Jan Kuznetsov to an entry-level contract, 3 years. He is 19 years old, a 2020 second-round pick. He's 6'4", 215-pound, left-shotted defenseman, currently playing at UConn, which he will not be now, as he will be heading on to the American Hockey League. He has 6 points in 16 games. He can play the remainder of the year in Stockton/Calgary. And, the 3-year deal kicks in at the end of the season. Around the division, NHL draft lottery changes. There was some tweaking. For 2021, the team finishing with the fewest points in the league cannot draft lower than 3rd overall. There you go, Detroit. 1 year late. Starting in 2022, 11 teams instead of 16 will be eligible to win the lottery. Hopefully that doesn't come into effect for us. And no team can win the lottery twice in a 5-year period. Thank you very much, Edmonton Oilers. That is now your rule. Federal government in Canada changes quarantine requirements. They have approved a 7-day quarantine with extra testing for NHL period players traded from American-based cities to Canadian cities before the April 12th NHL trade deadline. Government sources say that all provinces have approved these measures. Moving on into our listener question, we did a Facebook poll this week on Flames Hub and Calgary Flames fans, 2 Facebook groups you've got to go be a part of if you're a true Flames fan. I posed a poll question this week, and it was, who is the Flames' most overrated forward this season? 907 people responded. Unreal. Great response. Sean Monahan wins award. 57% of the people think Sean Monahan's the most overrated forward that we have. 28% said Johnny Gaudreau. 12% said Matthew Tkachuk. 2% said Michael Backlund. 1% said Dylan Dubé. A couple people piped up and said, why no Bennett as an option? Well, there's no Bennett as an option because if you watch the Flames the past 5 years, you shouldn't have high hopes for Bennett, so the expectations weren't really high. So you can't be very overrated if you're not expected to be good, right? A lot of people said all of the above, and sadly, I have to agree with you. If I had to name one, I'd say Matthew Tkachuk is the one that I think this year has struggled the most. I know stats don't lie, but if you're watching the Flames games and you're watching them closely, you're not seeing the same Matthew Tkachuk that we've seen in years past. And that's unfortunate because if Matthew Tkachuk's not going, this team's not going. So somehow, some way, we got to get that one figured out.
Get all your Flames Unfiltered podcasts, team news, team updates, and highlights at flamesunfiltered.com.
Thanks so much for bearing with me, Flames fans, as I battle through a head cold and it looks like I'm crying. I'm not crying because the Flames are not doing well. I should be crying. I'm not. I'm just battling a horrendous head cold. Let's preview some games. Wednesday, tomorrow night, probably the day where this gets released, Calgary's in Vancouver. Now, there is some uncertainty to whether this game will actually be played, as Vancouver Canucks had a positive COVID test today, as Gaudette tested positive, and nothing has changed from Calgary's travel schedule as they prep for the game tomorrow. Gaudette will be retested per protocol. If it's negative, he'll be tested again tomorrow. Results will then determine his status. We'll be interested to see how this game is handled tomorrow. Green said that Virtanen missed practice with illness. Gaudette had positive test and was asked to leave the ice from the morning skate. I don't know how this one's going to go or if this one's going to go. We'll see. Right now, the Flames currently lead the season series with Vancouver 4-2. 4 games remain in this series, and these two teams are dead locked in the standings. Both teams played 37 games. Both are 16, 18, and 3. This one will actually probably determine the one team who has a fighting chance of catching Montreal, and the other team will probably be ready to shine those golf clubs up, right? Probably. I'm ready to shine them up. It's got a new set. I'm ready to use them. Anyways, moving on. February 1st, Friday night, Calgary plays at Edmonton. Sunday, they play home against Toronto, and Monday, home against Toronto, as Toronto comes to town to take on the Flames for a Sunday-Monday 2-game set at the Saddle Dome. A big thanks goes out to our sponsor, HOTMIC. And what is HOTMIC? Well, HOTMIC is the coolest thing ever. Each week here at Flames Unfiltered, we have what's called a HOTMIC Game of the Week. And what we do at those games of the week is it's basically a watch party where you can join me and talk Flames hockey, complain, bitch, cheer for the team we love so much. It's great fan interaction, meet new people, meet other Flames fan, and even win some great prizes. Watch for further details on when you can join. The next game is March 31st versus Vancouver, a Thursday. We're doing it again on April 8th against Vancouver again, also a Thursday night. It's easy as can be to do. Grab your iPad, grab your iPhone, download the HOTMIC app, set up an account. It's free, it's quick, it's easy. Search Flames. You'll see Flames Unfiltered. Join that group. Click on the viewing schedule, and you'll find the Flames versus the Canucks. Click on that, sit back, and start interacting with us at Flames Unfiltered. While you're there, you can win a chance to win a Blasty jersey We also give away Calgary Flames hockey card sets on a nightly basis to random participants. It's a lot of fun, and we hope to see you this week as we do another Hot Mic Game of the Week. Well, I survived. It was a shorter episode than usual. I know. Don't get on me, man. I'm back next week. Next week, what are we talking about? Flames deadline preview. Yes, the deadline, which I believe the Flames should be sellers. I'll tell you what I think the Flames should do. We're hoping to have a guest on next week, and he can let us know what he thinks the Flames should do. Who should we get rid of? What assets should we get? Where does this team go? I don't know. Thank you all for all our listeners. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for bearing with me on a night where I'm not feeling up to par. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. Help us out. Check us out on social media at Flames Unfiltered. Subscribe on YouTube at the Inside Edge Hockey News. Rate and review us on Apple Podcast. We're on all of them. Check us out. Those reviews really help us out. And make sure you head on over to Inside Edge Hockey News. That's where you can subscribe on YouTube, where you can watch us, not just listen to us, but yes, watch us. Go Flames. We need some points. We need some points quick. We'll see you next week, Flames fans.
Get connected. Flames Unfiltered can be found on Twitter at Flame Unfiltered. And also make sure you check out our Facebook page at Flames Unfiltered. Check out host Brad Burud on Twitter at Brad Burud. And if you like what you hear, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find Flames Unfiltered on all the major podcast players. And consider subscribing to Inside Edge Hockey News on Patreon. That'll get you exclusive content and much more. Thanks again and enjoy the hockey action.
Play on! Yeah, baby! Play on! Yeah, baby!
Thanks for tuning in to Flames Unfiltered. Check back for more action-packed Calgary Flames talk. This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.